All right, welcome everyone. It's Ken here with Monterey Pro Strategies. This is going to be a recap of this last week ending on 10/25 of 2019. And really, this week, one of the things I focused on mainly was just a pattern that I recently released for the first time called the PAP pattern. These are the results that you're seeing that I personally traded. There were some that were trading did much better. My objective going into this, at least for the next several months, is I'm just showing that setting an objective is very important. Starting off smaller accounts, I suggest starting off with $50 and work your way up as you become more familiar with the patterns. My objective is 500. Once I hit 500, I stop trading, then I continue to work with the students online and plot the setups to help those that are still trading. But nonetheless, another really good week. As you can see, I on most of the days I did meet or slightly exceed my objective. There's a couple of days I did not. Friday was kind of a choppy day, unusual in the sense that, man, for the last several weeks it's been really good, but Friday seemed to be going back to its normal state of being extremely choppy. So, but still came out $290, which is still respectable. And but for most all the other days, I pretty much got close to my objective. Wednesday, once again, was a tough day, but I'm only trading now. When I'm trading, I'm only trading from 8, at least in the morning, I'm only trading from 8 a.m. till 3 p.m. Central Time, and then at night, of course, I only trade for 2 hours, 7 to 9 Central Time. And as you can see, if you look at these results, I could make more at night in 2 hours than I typically make over a 7-hour period. There are reasons for that. But nonetheless, both sessions can be very good. But if you're having difficulty during the day, nights obviously are the best time. And usually, for me, anytime after 7 p.m. Central is really good. And that usually carries in until the following morning, up until about probably 7 a.m. So anyway, if all you can do is trade at night, don't worry about that, because I think you have a little advantage over the day session, because a lot of news has already been disseminated, and you have, it's just the nights tend to move a little bit differently. But nonetheless, overall, the percent of winning trades were still very good. These are naked trading signals. So when I say naked, that means the PAP patterns are, every time a PAP pattern comes, sets up for a buy or either sell. That's assuming that you don't consider any kind of EOM. I've talked about EOM before. It's gives me an indication of how strong the market is moving. And also, I do look at different pair correlations between the different Forex pairs. There are definitely positive and negative correlations, so I do look at that. And but assuming that you used no other type of filtration and you just took the signals blindly, these are the results. You can see, even without any kind of considering, not considering whether it's a strong market or weak market, in or out of correlation, whatever, still had very good percentages. Aussie US, obviously 81% in the morning, held up for the evening as well. Euro still very respectable, 85.83. Pound, which is typically not one of the strongest ones. I trade very little pound. There are just a few couple patterns that I trade in the pound, and that's something that I explain in chat. But 76.63, and then the yen 79 and 66. So almost 70% on that yen. So very good percentages, considering that you'll just blindly just trading the signals. All right. So what we're going to do this week is, why don't we take a look at the Euro US charts, and I'm going to look at day sessions, and let's just look at some of the setups. All the setups you see are obviously going to be the PAP pattern. I do teach a total of 5 different patterns. It's your choice. They're all good patterns. It's just some like to trade just a couple of them. Some like to trade them all. I personally like to trade the PAP, and there is one other additional pattern that I trade. And then, of course, Thursday nights I always trade the crystal ball. But just as a core package, the PAP is pretty much all you need. If you want to go up step a level and you really want to start seeing some outstanding results, then when you incorporate the crystal ball on top of this, which can be done, then you're definitely going to be increasing your percentage of probabilities quite a bit. But nonetheless, that's not something that most people are interested in doing. So I'm just wanted to show what you can do if you just follow one of the patterns. In this case, it's just a PAP. All right, so let's take a look at some charts here, and let's take a look and see what Sunday night did for us. Let me flip this over here. Just one moment. Okay, here's the Euro US Sunday night. Sunday night being one of my favorite nights to trade. And this is just on the Euro US. I do trade a total of 4 of them. I don't trade as much pound US as I do on the other threes. But this is just a Euro US. This is my favorite. And it's usually between the Euro US and the Aussie US. But you can see on a typical night, you're probably only going to get 4 to 6 signals per pair per night. But they tend to be very good. In this case, we had a total of what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1 loss. So, you know, Sunday night again was a very good night. And these, what you're looking at here, these are all PAP patterns. This is something that if you decide to join chat, this is something that I do draw. It is a manual process. And I do draw the setup so you know exactly which way the setup is telling you, which way the pattern is telling you whether to buy or sell. Okay, and it's very clear, and it does come out before the strikes open up. That's real important. So before the next set of 5-minute strikes open up, I'm already prepared to know which way, whether I'm going to be a buyer or seller. Okay, so in this case, you can see that we had a buy here. The blue arrows obviously are buys. Blue arrows down are obviously shorts. This is part of the PAP pattern. It's a secondary signal inside of the PAP pattern, and that's what that means. Green obviously being buy and a red being short. By the way, these secondary patterns are even stronger when you look at the stats on them. So somebody that if they're not comfortable with 70-75%, you can bump that up by just going with the secondary signals. Anyway, it's certainly an option, and something I help people do on the smaller accounts because it's a good way to get a small account growing. And then as you build your account, then you can start moving into other pairs and get a little bit more diversified. So anyway, that was Sunday night. Going to look at Euro again, and let's take a look at Monday night. All right, now here we go. Okay, so this is Monday night. Once again, the Euro US. I had a total 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, anywhere. Usually I get up to, on average, about 4 to 6 signals. Just had a few more. It did get a little choppy, but nonetheless still ended up having a really good night. You can see that it got a little bit out of phase here. That's why it's called the phase adaptive pattern. It can go out of phase, but then it will quickly snap back in. One of the very interesting things about the PAP pattern is that very seldom do you have more than 1 loss in a row. If I do see that occur, that means it's getting ready to go out of phase. And then once I see it gets back in the phase, and you can trade again. So there's a lot that can be done with the PAP pattern. That's why it's one of my favorites. And I'm finding most of the people that are trading right now are using the PAP because it's extremely powerful within itself without any kind of filtrations whatsoever. So, but nonetheless, there's more to be said. We also look at, we look at our probabilities along the way in chat. We also look at whether we're in or out of phase. And that tells me whether I want to be trading, I want to continue to trade the euro. Maybe I want to jump over to the yen or jump over to the Aussie. I know that because I keep track of all those stats, and it's something I encourage everybody to do that come into the chat room. If you want to do this on a professional level, you've got to be able to keep track of everything that's everything's based on probabilities. You've got to be watching the probabilities because they tell you a lot about the conditions of the market and whether you're going to continue to be in phase or out of phase. But nonetheless, still ended up nice night. What did I do Monday night? 218. Not a huge night, but nonetheless respectable in the sense that I wasn't trying to go crazy, not trade more than 3 lots. Most everything that I trade are going to be 1 lot except my very first trade. I do put more than 1 on the very first trade. But besides that, it's pretty much just 1 lot. And every once in a while, if I see a strong setup, like something like this signal right over here, which is secondary signal inside of the PAP, I'll look to put on some size. But besides that, Monday night looks good. Let's go ahead and let's jump over to Tuesday night. All right, here's Tuesday night. Tuesday night was actually a pretty good night for me. In the sense I did hit my objective, slightly went over. And you can see the the Euro US I was pretty much in sync all day long. I think out of all these signals, which is actually, well, this looks like a day chart. This looks like a day chart. Let's stop that. That is my day chart. Day chart was awesome. Let's jump over to the, let's take a look at this night chart. All right, this is better. Here we go. This is Tuesday night. Once again, only 4, I mean, that's, certainly within range. Only 4 signals, all in 100%. On the Euro US, ended up going slightly over my objective, $527. So it was a very strong night. First trade out of the gate was a winner, just like it was in the morning. So that usually gives me a nice little boost in the account, and then I just trade onesies out until I hit my objective. So nonetheless, really nice night Thursday night, and that was across the board, not just here in the Euro, but we saw it in the Aussie and we saw it in the Yen. I think even the pound was doing well that night, but nonetheless, really good Tuesday night. So now let's jump over to the Wednesday night. All right, Wednesday night, Euro US. What do we have here? 1, 2, 3, 6 trades on the Euro. A little bit choppier night tonight. My first trade out of the gate tonight was actually a loser, and since I put size on that, I go back to ones and work my way out of it. I was just shy of hitting my objective. But it wasn't that we were out of sync. It's just that very first trade put me in the red. And one thing I don't suggest is try to get aggressive and get yourself out of the red as you slowly work your way out of it. So it was a really good demonstration of what you do if you are in the red. And that will happen, whether it's on your first trade or somewhere down the road. The most important thing is learning how to get yourself out of it. And nothing will build more confidence in a trader to see your account go red and then being able to pull yourself out of it over and over and over again. That builds confidence, and it also helps with reducing that fear of, oh my God, what am I going to do if I go into the red? Because it's going to happen. But if you have the confidence knowing that you're going to pull yourself out of it, you have a lot less stressful trading, and you tend to make better decisions. So nonetheless, this was definitely not out of sync. It was just choppy. I can tell it wasn't out of sync because I wasn't getting more than a single loss in a row. And so it was definitely in phase. Okay, and so it was pretty much like that across the board. But after the beginning of just shortly after 7 a.m., let's say around 8 p.m., things really started picking up on some of the other pairs, and that's really what got me going. As I just traded onesies out and almost hit my objective of 480. I hit 482, almost 500, but not quite there. But I stopped at 9, and so that's what I posted. So anyway. That is going to be Wednesday night. A couple more nights. Let's take a look and let's see how Thursday ended up. All right, so here we go. This is Thursday night, probably the best night of the week. Actually, it was. Went slightly, went about $100 over my objective. But what a night. I mean, this is just on the Euro, and all of them were like this. I think this hit it. This had what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 7, 8 trades in a row. It hit at 100%. All of them were hitting at 100%, except the pound. The very last trade at 8.55, it had a loss. But besides that, Euro US, the Aussie US, the US Yen, all had as many trades, many setups, and every single one of them was 100%. So, God, what a strong night. Definitely in sync all night long. This is not the first time. I've seen several nights like this where it's hitting at 100%. So it's not like this only happens, every year or every 6 months. I get quite a few of these during the month. So not unusual. Once the PAP gets in the sync, then it's a killer. And you know it because you see it. You're not seeing losses. And these are the nights that you really want to take advantage of and get your account growing. Get some cushion in there, because when we do start to hit the choppier times, or maybe we're out of sync a little bit, maybe you only have one pair that's really in sync, then it's nice to have that big cushion to work with. All right. So anyway, that's pretty much it for this week. Next week, I'm going to stay to the same objective of $500 per session. So I trade 2 sessions per day, right? Morning and in the evening. And my objective is to hit 500 and then I stop trading. And that's something obviously I suggest everybody do. Also, I'm going to put out some more free videos. So be sure to subscribe to this channel. Give me a thumbs up. Let me know that you like it. And also, if you want to get on my mailing list, I do send out recaps on these videos by going to binaryprostrategies.com. Get on that email list, and we'll keep you up to date on everything. And if that new video, the free new video comes out, which is going to be out shortly, you'll be sure to be notified and get a copy of that as well. Besides that, any questions, comments, you can always leave them below or go to my website. I'm always available on the website. And if you like to keep more of an update on what I'm doing, if you go to Instagram Pro Strategies, every night I do post the results for the day. I show you the win-loss ratio, naked win-loss ratio. I show you my net results, and I do a snapshot of the pictures of the chart so you can see all 4 pairs as well, and that's done in Instagram. So anyhow, that's it. I will be back next week with my next recap, and of course, starting the week this Sunday night, my favorite night, we'll be doing it all over again. Y'all have a great week, and y'all take care. Okay, so if you're interested in learning exactly how I do this, I do offer 2 different packages. And the way this is set up is that if you want to learn about the core strategy package, now that isn't going to include all the videos. You're going to get full access to all my training videos and educational material. You're going to get full disclosure of the core strategy, which I use a lot, particularly the single and double continuation patterns. The majority of all the results that you see on my daily returns is going to be based off of those 2 patterns, okay? I also do trade the delta pattern, and I also will show you how to use the nibble strategy. The nibble strategy is designed to catch very short-term trades, and I'll show you exactly how to use that in combination with some of the other core patterns. Also, how to transition from demo to a live account. This is very important. That video is also included. As you know, it's also available on YouTube for free. But how to transition from a demo to a live account is very important. Something you need to watch. Don't just jump in and start trading in a live account. You want to learn the strategy, and you want to make sure that you're profitable. I'd say at least 9 out of every 10 days. And then when you get ready to transition to a live account, please watch the video, because there's some really good steps on how to make that transition. Also, when you purchase the package, you're going to get a 1-hour personal training with me. So you and I will do a one-on-one, and I'll make sure that you fully understand everything and how it works. Now, this package is designed to pretty much purchase and go if you'd wish. You can purchase, watch everything, and go out and trade on your own. Now, if you want to learn about the core strategy plus the crystal ball, basically you're getting everything in here. You're getting the core strategy, but you're also going to get the you're going to learn the crystal ball method. That's something that's available. That's a video that is not available online. That's something you and I will once again sit down and go through and make sure you fully understand it. Now, if you decide that you want to go just with the core strategy and learn the crystal ball at some point, I'll just charge you the difference between the core strategy price and then the full price that includes the crystal ball. So I'll just charge you the difference between the 2. Okay, so these are designed to basically purchase, learn them, and then go and do your own trading and so forth. Now, if you wish to join me live as I trade live every day, which I highly suggest, because what I do is I also, not only do I share my charts, but I show you where I'm getting in, where I'm getting out, what strike, what price, why I'm doing it, what I'm seeing in the market. It's well worth it, and that's only going to be $50, okay? So if you want to, once again, if you just want to learn things on your own, you can purchase the package and move on. If you want to learn the package and then also join my live trading room, chat room, then that's just $50 a month, and that's $50 reoccurring as long as you want to stay. There's no time limit, so if you want to stay 2 months, 3 months, a year, whatever, it doesn't matter. It's just $50 a month. Okay, so if you're interested, you want to go to binaryprostrategies.com, and in there under Join Now, you're click on that little button. It'll pop up. You'll see this, and you can go ahead and purchase one of these 2 packages, and or if you're a reoccurring member, you can go ahead and join the monthly if you're not already part of the chat room. So any questions, as always, you can always get a hold of me by going to the website. My phone number's there, email address, and so forth. So if you like to do that, feel free to give me a call. I'll be glad to answer any of your questions before you make a decision. But everything I teach is fully disclosed. I'm not holding anything back. I am here to educate. I'm not a signal provider. That doesn't do you any good by me just giving you my signals. I'm here to teach you how I see the signals, and I want you to learn them as well and be able to identify them as well as I do. And then, this way you are free to trade on your own. You don't need me around all the time. But for those that like to stay in the chat room and trade with us live every day, that's always an option as well. So that's it. Thanks once again for watching my video, and you'll have a great day.